Something was wrong. Commander Grek could not explain it. He had stood on this bridge for 30 years. He had watched 17 civilizations burn from this exact spot. He had felt the floor shake under orbital bombardments that cracked the surface of planets. He had watched species collapse, armies scatter, leaders beg for mercy on their knees. He had never once felt what he was feeling right now. He stood at the center of the bridge of the Wrath of Kral, the largest warship ever built by his people, and stared at the small blue planet rotating slowly on the viewing screen in front of him. It was beautiful, in a quiet way. Blue oceans, white clouds, green land under those clouds, soft and wet and full of life. It looked helpless. It looked like all the others. And yet, something was wrong. He pulled up the pre-invasion report for the 4th time that morning and read it again. Planet designation, Earth. Star system, Sol. 3rd planet. Population, approximately 8 billion. Military capacity, ground forces only, no space-capable warships, no orbital defense grid, no energy weapons detected. Soldier average height, 1.8 meters. Average weight, 80 kilograms. Physical threat rating, low. He had crushed species twice as large with half the fleet. He set the report down. He looked at the planet. Grek, Vin, come here. Intelligence Officer Vin crossed the bridge quickly. He was small for a Kral, barely 6.5 feet, and he moved with the careful energy of someone who was always calculating something. Grek, tell me what is bothering me. Vin blinked. That was not a question commanders usually asked. Vin, sir? Grek, something in the data is wrong. I can feel it. I cannot find it. You find things. Find it. Vin looked at the report on the screen. He looked at the planet. He pulled up his own terminal and started scrolling. Grek watched him work for 3 minutes, saying nothing. Then Vin stopped scrolling. His eyes went still, the way eyes go still when they find something they were not expecting. Grek, what? Vin, Commander, how long have we been scanning this planet? Grek, 14 months. Vin, and the deep ground scans. When were those done? Grek, standard protocol, first week of observation, 11 months ago. Vin, I need to run a new one, right now. Grek, why? Vin turned his screen so Grek could see it. It showed a satellite image of a large area of empty land, flat, brown, nothing on it. Then Vin pulled up the same location from the scan done 11 months ago. The same land, flat, brown, nothing on it, identical, completely unchanged. Grek, I am looking at the same image twice. Vin, no sir, these are from 11 months apart. Nothing has changed on the surface. Not one building, not one vehicle, not one trench or wall or defense structure. In 11 months, they have built nothing on the surface. Grek looked at him. Vin, sir, 14 months ago, when we first appeared on their long-range detection systems, every civilization we have ever faced started building surface defenses immediately. Walls, towers, weapon platforms, because that is what you do when something big is coming. You prepare what you can see. He paused. Vin, these ones built nothing on the surface. In 14 months, nothing. The bridge was suddenly very quiet. Grek, run the deep scan. The scan finished. Vin looked at the results. His face did not move. When Vin's face did not move, it meant the information was serious enough that he was taking a moment to make sure he understood it before he spoke. He turned the screen toward Grek. The image showed a cross-section of the planet's surface. The top layer was the surface they could see, flat, empty, unchanged. Brown soil, open land, nothing built. 40 meters below the surface, the image looked completely different. The planet was hollow, with tunnels, hundreds of them, thousands, running in every direction under every major landmass, like the roots of an enormous tree, connecting and branching and deepening, lit up on the scan in bright orange lines against the dark gray of the rock around them. They had not built up. They had built down. DOS tunnels. So what? We bomb them from orbit. We go deeper. Then, look at the width, DOS. DOS looked. His jaw tightened. Then, 1.2 meters wide, 2 meters tall. Our soldiers in full armor are 1 meter wide and 2.4 meters tall. We cannot fit. Our vehicles cannot fit. Our shoulder-mounted weapons cannot aim in those spaces. They are not hiding from our bombs. They are hiding from us, specifically. They measured us, and they built the tunnels to exclude everything we have. Nobody said anything. Grak looked at the tunnels on the screen. He looked at the planet. He looked at the vast, quiet, empty surface that had been sitting there for 14 months, pretending to be helpless. And then the communications board lit up. Rail. Commander. We are receiving a transmission from the planet's surface. Grak. Put it through. The message was short. 7 words, translated instantly by the ship's system. It said, "We know you have seen the tunnels." The bridge was completely silent. Then, "We are sending someone to talk. Please do not shoot him." Grak gave the order to hold fire. He watched the human ship rise from the planet's surface on the tracking screen. It was tiny, about the size of one of their short-range scout pods. A single life sign inside. No weapons detected. The ship docked without incident. Grak walked down to the landing bay personally. He brought 20 guards. He told himself it was protocol. He knew it was not protocol. Standard protocol for a single unarmed diplomat was 4 guards. He brought 20 because something in the message had made him want more bodies between himself and what was coming off that ship. He would not admit that. Not to anyone. Not even to himself, fully. But he brought 20. The bay was enormous. The size of a small city block, ceiling 40 meters up. The walls lined with warships in their docking cradles. The human ship sat in the center of it, like a toy. The 20 crawl guards formed 2 lines leading from the ship's hatch to where Grak stood, each one over 7 feet tall, each one in full battle armor, each one carrying enough firepower to level a city. The hatch opened. Cole stepped out. He stood at the top of the short ramp and looked down the corridor of armored giants between him and Grak. He looked left. He looked right. He looked at the ceiling 40 meters above him. He looked at the 40 warships in their cradles behind the guards. He put his hands in his pockets. He walked down the ramp and through the corridor of guards at a completely normal walking pace. Not slow, like someone who is scared. Not fast, like someone who is nervous. Just walking. Like a man walking from one room to another in his own house. He stopped in front of Grak. Grak was 8 feet tall. Cole was 5 feet 11 inches. The top of Cole's head came up to roughly the middle of Grak's chest. Grak outweighed him by 320 kilograms. Cole looked up at Grak. He said, "Cole, thanks for not shooting me. I want you to know that was genuinely appreciated." Grak stared at him. In 30 years and 17 wars, no representative of any species had ever made a joke. Not in a landing bay full of armed soldiers. Not standing in front of a commander who could end them with a gesture. They arrived afraid, and they stayed afraid, and they eventually left defeated. That was the shape of it. That had always been the shape of it. This was a different shape. Grak, you came alone. Cole, I did. Grak, why would your leaders send one person To this ship, with no weapons. Cole. Well, they sent me because I asked to come. And they sent me without weapons because I told them weapons were not going to be the useful part of this conversation. Battle Commander Doss stepped forward from the guard line. He was even larger than Grack. He looked down at Cole the way a mountain looks at a stone on the ground. Doss, you are the smallest thing that has ever stood on this ship. You are aware of that. Cole, I am aware of that, yes. Doss, and you are not afraid. Cole looked at Doss for a moment. Then he said something that made every guard in the landing bay go completely still. Cole, I am a little afraid. Honestly, you are very big, and this room is full of guns. But here is the thing about being afraid. He paused. Cole, we come anyway. That is just what we do. Silence. Doss looked at Grack. Grack looked at Cole. Something passed between the commander and his battle chief that did not need words. A look that said, I do not know what this is yet, but it is not what we were expecting.